Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about 5 ways to say how are you. The reason I want to talk about this is because sometimes in my lessons, if I say how are you, then students can understand and they respond. But if I use something a bit different, many students don't understand. And these phrases are very important because it can be a bit awkward. It can be a bit difficult if you start a conversation with somebody and you don't even understand the first question. So these are very important. So make sure to take some notes and remember these phrases because native speakers use them a lot. So number 1 is, how are you doing? So how are you doing just means the same as how are you. So you can respond the same way. You can say, I'm good, I'm great, I'm okay, I'm not bad. You can respond the way you normally do. Sometimes students get confused with the doing and they think I've asked them, what are you doing? So sometimes I say, how are you doing? And students say, I'm talking to you. But that's not what I'm asking. You see, I'm asking, how are you? If I ask you, what are you doing? Then you can say, oh, I'm talking to you. But how are you doing just means, how are you? Number 2, how's it going? So how's it going? Again, same thing. It means how are you? Or like, how is your life at the moment? So when people say, how's it going? You can respond with, it's good. But you can also just respond with, I'm good. That's something to be careful. When the question has you, when we say how are you or how are you doing, you should respond with I'm good. If you say it's good, it sounds strange. But if someone says how's it going, you can use it's good or I'm good. Both is okay. But I think most of the time people just say I'm good anyway. Even though the question is how is it going, we normally just say, yeah, I'm good, how are you? So yeah, that's number 2. Number 3, very casual one, is what's up. So again, this is quite casual. Don't go into a job interview and say, hey, what's up? But it's something we say to friends sometimes. When we call people, we say, hey, what's up? And that can mean, how are you? And it also can mean like, what do you want? Or what are you doing? So if somebody calls you, you can say, hey, what's up? And that means a little bit like, how are you? But it also means like, why are you calling me? What do you need? So yeah, that's what's up. Number 4, and this one is something that you will hear in the UK or in Australia or New Zealand, but you won't hear it so much in America. And that is all right. So this is short for, are you all right? If you're in America and you use are you all right, it means, more like it's used in a situation when somebody might be hurt or sick or upset. And you say, oh, are you all right? Like, are you okay? But in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, it's just another way to say, hey, how are you? So are you all right normally gets shortened to all right, or you might hear the yeah, like from you, you're right. And also it's very common to put mate on the end. Mate means friend. So again, UK, Australia, New Zealand, don't be too surprised if somebody says to you, you're right, mate? And that just means like, how are you? Like, but in a very casual way. So you can just respond like, yeah, I'm good. Or you can just respond the same. So they say, you're right, mate? Yeah, you're right. And you don't really need to answer the question. So it's also a little bit like hello. But yeah, make sure to look out for that one if you are in one of these 3 countries because you might hear that. You definitely will hear that. People use it a lot. Number 5, and this one is a few kind of combined here. I just want to talk about how you might hear people ask how are you with the present perfect tense. So again, sometimes my students get confused if I ask them this, but it's quite a common way to ask people, especially if you have not seen them for some time. So if it's been like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, people might ask you, how have you been? So we use present perfect because we're asking about the time since we last met until now. So it doesn't just mean how are you right now. It means, since the last time we met, have you been okay? Have you been sick? Have you been healthy? Have you been happy? So it's talking about that whole time. So how have you been? And then, there are a few combinations. Basically, all the ways of saying how are you, I just told you. You can put all of those into a perfect tense. So you can say, like, I told you number 1 was how are you doing? You can say how have you been doing? So again, you can use this present perfect continuous in this case. Or how's it going? You can say how has it been going? Are you all right? Have you been all right? So all of these are just, when you hear this perfect tense, it means coming from the past until now. So it's a good phrase to use if you haven't seen somebody for a few weeks or a month or longer. You say, oh, how have you been? Or how have you been doing? Because you're asking them about all of that time. Okay, so that's all I want to talk about today. That's 5 ways to ask people, how are you? So you can try to use these. It will make your English sound a bit more natural. But I think they're definitely very important to understand because native speakers will ask you these questions. We don't always simply say, how are you? Your English teacher might say that most of the time because they know you can understand it. But if you go and start trying to talk to other people, you might hear a different combination of words that is not how are you. So it's important to understand these and respond. So that's it for today. If you want to check out my podcast, then please check the link below this video so you can get some English listening practice. If you want to take a lesson with me, there's a link in the same place. Also, if you want to support my channel and hear bonus podcast episodes, there's also a link for my Patreon profile below as well. So thank you all for listening or watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like and comment, and I'll see you all back here next time.